You're listening to iCannabisRadio.com.
Hi. Welcome to iCannabis Radio, The Cure. My name is Georgia, and it is the first Monday of July. And it has been hot as Hades in Colorado. Our thoughts and positive energies go out to all of the people who have suffered through the fires in Colorado. And it has just been a crazy beginning of the summer, even before the summer started. We are here with my dear friend Paul from Mad Hatter Smoke Shop. Paul Garrett, say hello to the people.
Hello, the people.
And we are, of course, here with the Chris's. Chris and Chris, say howdy.
How's it going?
What's up?
I think I said say howdy. People have difficulty following directions.
Simon didn't say. No, but Georgia said, and what Georgia says, you do.
Right? Simon takes his cues from Georgia.
Simon learned from Georgia.
So it's an exciting day here at iCannabis Radio for a whole bunch of reasons that we won't go into, but a few that we will. One of which is that we are so lucky to have Paul here, and he is going to talk a little bit about the glass pieces that we have that he brought with us. But we want to talk about, we're going to have a special show next month, the first show in August. Yep. Live, and all of that comes with having a live show, because this past Wednesday we started a brand new show on iCannabis Radio called iDab Radio. Get it?
I get it.
Yeah. Well, those of you who don't get it, this is the show by the gentleman from Top Shelf Extracts, and they produce concentrates for medical marijuana centers in Colorado. Multiples. They are into multiples. And children, like babies. Okay, that wasn't even a good try.
Yeah, that made it sound worse.
It did make it sound, well, and meeting those guys, that wouldn't even come to your mind. But really excited to have this new show start, and it was well received, and everyone was really excited, and part of the whole reason for having iDab Radio on Wednesday nights is, they wanted to do a show to really educate people on concentrates. In Colorado and California, concentrates have been around for a while. Lots and lots of people have smoked hash for years. But the science behind making it properly, not blowing yourself up, maybe not using something that could blow yourself up at all, has really, we've come a long way, baby, in a very short period of time. And with that has come different mechanisms of smoking and vaporizing concentrates. And so next month, Mad Hatters is going to have a full line of all of the oil rigs and the accessories that come with those kinds of glass products, right?
Yeah, we'll bring in all the different versions and different ways to consume it, and everyone can pick their best way.
It's really exciting. So having that is just an interesting and fun way for us to be able to educate our listeners. Couple kind of interesting things that we want to talk about, things that are coming up. Are you familiar with the Bongathon in August?
Yes, I am.
Well, what do you know about it?
I know it's a really cool camp-out event up in South Park, which you can't miss. We're actually donating a couple products for them to raffle off at the event. So there'll be some Mad Hatter's glass up in there, and it's just, a cool camp-out get-together with, a select number of people, because they only have so many tickets, and it's been going on for like over
30 years,
something like that, and just something that's, it seems like it's growing just a little bit, but not too much to where it becomes a problem.
Well, the whole premise of it is kind of fun and funny.
Yeah.
And for the true medicinal user, this is probably not an event that's particularly interesting to them, because the Bongathon is a competition, and it's a diehard competition.
You can smoke a quarter ounce, fastest gram.
Just not being a smoker and loving my lungs. I got to tell you though, if I was a smoker, I think I'd kick ass at this competition. Look, I've got some highly developed, big ass, strong lungs.
We'll enter the competition.
See, I've got the lung part, but I think I'd fall out of my chair.
Probably.
Yeah. It'll
be entertaining for the rest of us, though.
We interviewed Scott and I in a previous life interviewed the last year's winner of the competition, who had also won the competition before, and he's a big dude. And you know how he trained for the Bongathon?
How did he do that?
He ran. He really did work really hard, not on the amount of consumption, but on strengthening his lung capacity and his aerobic exercise through aerobic exercise. So on some level, I was really happy and excited that somehow athletics came into something as crazy as the Bongathon.
You want to win Bongathon? You must work out.
You must work out. I work out. We're gonna have to pay for that, Chris. I just sang a copyrighted shoot.
But I think your version isn't copywritten.
Yeah.
Poor man's copyright. Put it in an envelope and send it to yourself.
Nobody could tell what I was singing. Thank you. Right. So that's really exciting. We also have an exciting month in the Cure in July. So on the end of the month, this is a 5-Monday month. July is. You get an extra cure in July.
Whether you want it or not.
No, you want it. I mean, you want it. Everybody wants it.
I'm just saying, if there's someone out there who can only handle 4, they're getting 5.
Yeah. For free, with no extra charge.
Yeah.
And
you got to pay extra for that.
I know. For an entire extra cure. Oh my God. But this one we're gonna do for free. And so the July 30th event I'm really excited about, and I need your help. If you guys remember, a year ago Mother's Day, not this past Mother's Day, but the Mother's Day before that, I had a mom show, and I had some of my best girlfriends who work in the industry and live the industry came into the studio and just talked about what it's like to be a mom in this environment, and what it's like to parent kids of all ages and educate them not just on medical marijuana, but on how to talk to their kids about talking to other kids, how to how to deal with the nerves that you have when a parent asks you, what do you do for a living, or somehow you end up needing to talk about marijuana, which for us happens all the time, in relation to your parenting.
Daily conversation.
It is a daily conversation, and it's hard. It's really hard for people to get started. And so on the 30th, I'm going to have just a bunch of moms, and we're just going to talk about what it's like and what our tips are, and what where the areas that we tripped and fell and that we would do things differently. So if you guys know someone that you think would be willing to be on the show with us, if you know some moms who just ought to be in the chat room.
I'm gonna.
You're not a mom. You are not a mom.
I'm not a mom.
You'd make a great mom.
You'd make a pretty mom, though. Yeah, really.
I'd make you a card for Mother's Day.
All right. Well,
I do a handprint.
I've got a really good friend. She's a mom, and I think we were going to call her my friend John Lee. We'll call her that day.
That sounds fabulous.
Because she's starting to get into activism and coming out of the closet.
Yeah, absolutely.
With cannabis and marijuana, because she's in a wheelchair, and she's been in a wheelchair since she was 16 years old, and she uses it for her back pain, and spasms, and she had a rod put in her back poorly.
Ow.
Yeah,
gosh.
So she's in constant pain, and she's just now coming out of the shell of that she uses this not as something to party with, but as her medicine.
Yeah. And you know what? I'm so glad you brought her up, because even if she decides that she doesn't want to be on the show, I want her in the chat room, because I want people to start listening to those of us that have been through it, that have already broke through that barrier a little bit with the people that we know, because I tell you, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. I've told this story before, and I'm sorry I'm going to repeat myself, but I remember the first time that a parent in my son's school asked me what I did for a living, and this was a woman who just seemed like her shit was together, and I was like, oh, I used to be an executive too, and I have a master's degree and all those things, and I was like, I don't want to tell her all of that. I just need to say that, because I'm proud of what I do. I'm proud of what I stand for. But it's just hard to kind of recover from people's reactions. And she didn't have a reaction. Her only question was she was like, oh, okay, well, what do you tell your son about that? And it was a great response, because of course that's a wonderful question. She wants to know, our kids were 5 and 6 at the time. She wants to know, what do we tell our kid? Well, we tell our kid the truth. And so I used that 30-second opportunity to educate this mom about the importance of cannabis legalization for patients and for everyone. Yeah. And it didn't take that long. And afterwards, I was like, it was such a score. I felt so proud of myself, because she didn't alienate me. She still allows.
She asked an open-minded question.
She did, didn't she?
Yeah.
Yeah, she didn't say, "Oh my God, freak."
Yeah, like it wasn't like a negative, like
exactly.
Anything. It was, oh well.
Yeah, yeah.
How does this work in your family life?
And Paul, what was interesting was that I was surprised by that question. Believe it or not, I was
expecting a
judgment.
Negative reaction.
Absolutely, I was expecting a judgment. I was expecting that negative reaction. I was expecting somehow to defend medical marijuana, and I didn't. She wanted
more information.
Yes, it was so amazing, and so I want to share that with other moms and with other women, because it doesn't have to be freaky.
Yeah. And we are getting closer and closer to that point every year. Every 6 months, with especially here in Colorado. I mean, my parents have a much more open mind now that I've moved out here and established myself in the industry with the glass shop and everything, and
right.
Now they kind of, okay, and they've even gone to the extent of talking to their doctors about it and some of that stuff. I
right.
mean, obviously they haven't made the jump to come over, but it's not just a negative thing. It's not just Paul's getting high out back,
right.
doing his dumb teenager thing. It's
right.
like, it's more than just that.
That's right. As you guys all know, I ran a half marathon a couple of weeks ago, and I was my legs hurt. My legs hurt. It was downhill, and my legs hurt. And I was talking to my father, and he's 78 years old, and I was like, "Oh, dude, my legs hurt," and he's like, "Well, you should try that marijuana cream." I mean, it's wonderful. And I'm like, oh, Dad, trust me. Like, I'm covered in stems, like head to toe, covered in stems. But he didn't say take a few Tylenol or, break out the menthol cream or whatever. I mean, he jumped to what he knows works for me and what he has experienced that works. And so anyway, that's July 30th is going to be a show I'm so looking forward to. And I know it's going to be emotional. And, but moms that are out there and women, I mean, let's all spread the word about how important it is that we come together for our kids and use the July 30th show to do that. You don't have to be a mom. You're not a mom yet.
I'm not.
No. I mean, you've got a dog.
Yeah.
Did you talk to Kazak about cannabis?
Yeah. He still doesn't really like cannabis.
No, not yet. Well, he's young.
No, he's old.
Old in the dog
really
world.
Old. No,
he's 8.5.
Yeah,
Like,
that's really old for dogs.
It is old for
he's
dogs.
over the hill and on the downside of the hill.
He's old for dogs. Yeah. Someone asked me the other day, and I didn't really have a good response about using cannabis. I have a friend who had a very old dog, and the dog was dying, and they were waiting for the vet to actually put the dog down, and asked me my advice about using cannabis to alleviate some of the pain in the final couple days of this dog's life. And I didn't have a lot of information to give because I just didn't know anything other than the fact that nothing bad was going to happen to the dog. But I just loved the fact that these folks came to the conclusion that cannabis would be the best thing to alleviate pain versus some kind of doggy OxyContin.
Yeah. Well, and there are people making cannabis-infused dog medication.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Well, look at you. Look at you. Well, we should talk to those people because that's really interesting. That's really interesting. You know, we've all heard stories about dogs who accidentally got into somebody something or other, and edibles or brownies. Brownies are a good one.
Brownies. That's usually what they get into.
I had a dog that ate 7 grams of flowers. 7 grams of flowers.
That's a good dose.
Yeah. Nothing. No reaction. Didn't sleep for 2 days. Nothing happened to him. He actually, I do remember, we can verify this with Warren, I do remember he had some poopy problems.
I doubt that was the cannabis.
You don't think that was the cannabis? You don't think that was a lot of fiber that you eat? No?
Does cannabis fiber?
Well, plants. I mean, in plants in
they're
general.
Plants, but could you use cannabis as a substitute in like Raisin Bran?
Well, cannabis brand? Cannabrand?
Cannabrand?
Hemp brand.
Hemp?
Hemp.
Yeah. Yeah. Hemp brand. Hemp. Huh. I don't know. We should stop giving away our potential Kellogg's secrets and maybe take a break.
I don't know. I mean, I always have ideas like this that are great ideas, and I never do anything with them. So maybe if we keep throwing them out, someone else will pick it up and run with it.
And make $1 gajillion. Maybe so. And maybe it'll be our friends at Medical Marijuana of the Rockies who sponsor The Cure on iCannabis Radio. That's right. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is your mountain source for meds, located at off exit 203 in Frisco. mmrockies.com is their website, where you can turn to the website for their ever-changing strain selection. They also have phenomenal clones every single day. I can't tell you how many often I have people call me up and say, "You got any clones?" And I say, "Oh, well, we don't, but I know a couple places who does." And Medical Marijuana of the Rockies is a place who does have clones.
They are very well known for their clone selection and quality.
Yes, and if Warren hears us say clones, he's going to kick our ass. So what we mean is immature plants. Immature plants selection.
We got to come up with another small
Scott
word like
Greens.
clone.
That's right. That's right. That's right. Our Scott Green plants. So please visit our friends at Medical Marijuana of the Rockies. Jerry and Aaron are dying to see you. It's a beautiful, beautiful summer to go up and spend some time in some non-fire charred, beautiful mountain area.
And they have some glass from Mad Hatters in there in dispensary.
Even better. Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, mmrockies.com, your mountain source for meds. Go check them out.
The Clinic is proud to announce the 3rd annual Clinic Charity Classic Golf Tournament benefiting the Colorado MS Society. The tournament will be held at City Park Golf Course this coming August 11th. There will be some incredible prizes, including an opportunity to win a trip for 2 to Hawaii. The trip includes airfare, 8 days, 7 nights at the Ritz-Carlton Kapalua, including 4 rounds of golf and $1,500 spending cash. Thanks to the incredible support of Weed Maps, Hetty Glass, Rocky Mountain Hydro, T. Meyer & Stitch, Dixie Elixir, and MMJprinting.com, we're able to provide awareness to this incredibly difficult condition that so many Coloradans are suffering from. The event will be covered extensively by our favorite industry media outlets, Culture Magazine, The Hemp Connoisseur, Kush Magazine, and of course the amazing people at iCannabis Radio. Please register at thecliniccolorado.com or at any of our 6 convenient locations throughout the Denver metro area.
Are you a medical marijuana patient or interested in finding out how to become one? Contact Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. Conveniently located on Hamden and Tamarack in the Whole Foods parking lot behind Proof of the Pudding. Mile High Wellness offers a wide variety of edibles, hashes, and some of Colorado's top strains. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. 3525 South Tamarack, Suite 110, on the corner of Hamden and Tamarack. 720-382-8516. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern.
Welcome back to The Cure on iCannabis Radio. My name is Georgia. I'm here with the Chris's and my dear friend Paul. And Paul is from Mad Hatter's Smoke Shop on Walnut Street and on Colfax. Tell us how to find you and who the hell you are.
We're the greatest glass shop ever.
Ever.
You can find us at either one of our store locations, either 6091 West Colfax Avenue in Lakewood, or 2615 Walnut Street in Denver, which is right next door to MMD Dispensary.
MMD of Colorado, across the street from,
Castleman's.
Yeah, across the street from Castleman's.
A stone's toss away.
Yeah, I could spit there.
Have you tried?
Maybe.
Have you?
Okay, no.
I didn't think so.
But next time you're at the store, we can try. So it's Glass Monday, and we all know what that means. Genonymous is not here tonight.
He is poor at scheduling things.
I think I forgot to send him the memo. That's what I think happened. But you know what? I mean, in all honesty, you got it covered. You brought us a bunch of really cool new stuff that you have. Is this stuff from the Colfax store or the Walnut store?
All of this stuff came from the Colfax store, so that's where I was today.
So what do we got? What do we got? They're so pretty.
Well, yeah, as we do pretty glass. We brought some new glass we got in from a couple of really well-known artists. What we have right here in the light booth right now is some stuff from Brian Dosher. He's been glass blowing for a long time. I don't know exactly how long, but he's been around for quite a while. I know I've been seeing his stuff since I first got into collecting.
When did you start collecting glass?
When I was about 18 or 19 years old, right?
And how did that happen?
I liked smoking pot, and I would always get cool glass pieces, and they would always change all these cool colors, but they get really filthy pretty quick with as much as we were smoking back in those days. And I wouldn't ever want to clean them because they looked so cool, so I'd just go buy a new one. So for the longest time, I just had your typical little just spoon pipes, like 50 of them around, and then just keep going buying a new one. Then, that was before I was 18. It helps to have older friends.
Right, that must be what it was, yeah.
And, I guess it was probably 18 or 19. It was after I was out of high school, and I went into a store and just saw, some of the first, artistic pieces that I'd ever seen, and just my jaw dropped, and I had to buy one of them, and it's been a arguably unhealthy addiction ever since.
Yeah, you do have some beautiful your personal collection's amazing.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very picky about what goes into it.
Was it in May that you brought your brand new full?
Yeah, my cowboy set that I just got. Actually, I think that was beginning of this month.
In June, yeah. Last month. Right. Okay, so what you got?
I brought a couple pieces in. I just picked these up from Dosher here a few weeks ago. He was in town doing some glass blowing with Christina Sasser.
Yeah.
We're familiar with her.
K-Sass.
And he just had a case of some stuff, so I picked up a little bit of his things. This first one's his version of a dry Sherlock. It's really cool. It's got his flip disc that he's known for here in the middle. As you can kind of see, it matches the domes in the background. Then he, adds his horns, his cool little marble, and he does a lot of really nice color. I've noticed a lot of his stuff is a lot of this green and blues and kind of your darker, colder colors, which I tend to gravitate to myself for my personal collection. And so, when he opened up his case, this is one that just really jumped out at me. I'll let you take a look at that one.
So what is something like this retail for?
That one goes in the store for $3.99.
The detail on this is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's insane, and as spiky and everything as it looks, it actually fits really well in your hand if you hold with your other hand.
I love it. I think it's beautiful. I agree. I like those colder colors. However, there's a couple colors that I'm particularly drawn to. But what's so neat about that? So when they make the horns, they make them individually and then
attach them.
And then how do they attach them? Super glue, right?
No, with the flame. Because it's all glass, so they have to use their torches to melt everything together and weld it all in there. And pretty much they'll just go in there at the bottom, at the point where they want. They'll have the tip of the horn on a long punny stick, as we've discussed before. Just have it on there and torch it and weld it, and then they got to take the flame to pull the little stem off, which is really cool on this one in particular. With the marble it has here around all those spikes right there, for him to be that precise and to be able to cleanly get the punny sticks off of this and have the marble on there without altering the way it looks is pretty insane.
It is so amazing. It is so amazing. And it's funny because I always say I just don't understand. The horns always seem kind of so sharp.
Yeah.
But they really do make for a beautiful piece. And touching them and feeling them, I mean, they are solid. They
are
I
on
mean,
there.
you do not.
Yeah, and they're not hollow at all.
No,
which
no. I really don't want it to be right there because then I look like I'm in the
new
Mad Hatter ad.
The perks of Mad
The perks of
Hatters.
Mad Hatter. I love the marble. I mean, it's just these pieces are beautiful. These
Yeah,
pieces
that
are
marble's
beautiful.
just amazing. And like I was mentioning, he's known for his flip discs, which we have 2 domes here, which are his flip disc. It's probably gonna be kind of hard to see on the camera, but you can see a little bit of a darker squiggle going down the top half right there. And again on the backside, that's actually where it is essentially flipped to seal and everything, because this all comes out laying flat starting with.
Wow.
Then he has to flip it in and mold it into the dome shape, so that way it can be, an actual sphere. And again, it's just some of his really cool colors. It's like a little fuming technique he does in here, which fuming is more commonly what you see as color change pieces. He puts it on a lot thicker, so it's not actually going to color change, but it gives it this real, almost liquid metallic look to the color.
Oh, wow.
As it kind of waves through, almost something you'd find underwater, almost, it looks to me.
Oh, it's so amazing. It is so amazing. And again, it's so funny. I've touched a gajillion of these pieces, and I'm always so careful. These are solid pieces. I mean, I would probably have to chuck this against the wall.
I don't recommend it.
I won't. I promise. Oh, wow.
Then we also have a couple of dishes in here from him. These are super cool because use a couple of his different techniques. The top half is kind of this ribbed glass with a lot of fuming on it. Kind of gives it almost a pinkish tone to it, which, again, as it gets dirty and used a little bit, you'll see some color change to it. Dish will just be kind of with your wax and oil residue. And then in the bottoms of them, he does these really cool radicello designs, which are kind of like multiple lines just gone into spirals, all working together to go into almost a pinwheel kind of effect. These are some of his well-known pieces that he's becoming known for. Got 2 different examples of it there.
Where is Dozier from? Where's Brian from?
I can't remember exactly. It's up in the Oregon, Washington area somewhere. I don't know exactly where, but he's one of those that's been around for a long time, so he's lived in all the spaces.
Nice. This is spectacular. You absolutely cannot see this in camera, but when you look down in, I mean, it really has so much depth. It looks 3-dimensional.
Oh, it totally is, and super thick and solid.
Yeah. I love these. These are my guilty pleasure. These and what are the goblet things that I like so much? The
little Mike Furosaki dishes?
Yeah.
I just got a couple of those in.
These are so amazing. It's funny. My 7-year-old has started collecting glass. He now has 3 custom pieces, a mushroom and 2 marbles.
Can't beat a deal like that.
I
It's a
tell
good
you
way to
what.
start.
Yep.
He's got years ahead of me.
Well, and it doesn't hurt or help actually that you're introducing him to glass blowers, and when they see a 7-year-old who's like, "Dude, that's so cool," they make him stuff.
Yeah, their heart melts like, "Oh, here."
They turn into 7-year-olds too because they're like, "Oh, that's cool. 7-year-old likes it."
Yeah. Well, the most recent thing. Did you see the marble that he got from Rabbit Hole Guys? The second marble.
I don't think
it has a brain in it.
Nice.
It has a brain.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
How are you, that's how you win a 7-year-old over.
Oh yeah. You give him a glass ball with a brain. It's awesome. Back to the Dozier items.
Actually, we're done with Dozier. We're moving on to Silver Fox.
Nice.
He's actually a local glass blower. One of the few Colorado native glass blowers.
Wow.
Many of the guys we see nowadays, like Adam G. and Nate Myers, a lot of those guys, they've all moved here in the recent years, to be a part of the movement and, have their glass in a more 420 friendly area. But Silver Fox, he's one of the guys that's, like I said, he's native here. He's definitely been learning a lot from those guys that have moved in from out of state, and you can definitely see that. I brought in some of his new little faceted Sherlocks. These are some of our favorite pieces around the store. I'm sure, as everyone's noticed before, we're into Sherlocks. It's kind of our thing.
Because they're cool.
Well, yeah, they're cool. It's a true connoisseur's piece.
Dry or wet?
That's what she said.
No, it's not actually. She never said that. Not even one time. Nope.
Always wet.
Yes.
I hope my mom doesn't tune
I know.
into this
Peggy. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
This is what Georgia's been teaching me, Mom.
Peggy, we're talking about pipes.
So, yeah, these are just his basic faceted Sherlock that he's gotten into. The thing that really makes them really appealing is the faceting around the crown of the bowl. On these in particular, he did 3 rows of the facets, and they're all very accurate. Sometimes we get some stuff in that someone's faceted, and they should never facet anything again.
Or they should work really hard, practice a lot before faceting, and then selling.
No, after they've sent it to me and it's that bad, just don't do it again. Then he's got a dichro marble here on the side. I tend to call these disco marbles. This one in particular, he's done this really cool kind of swirl pattern in the colors for the basis of the pipe, which I think looks really cool whenever you look at the bowl itself straight down on it, and you see the swirls along with the facets. And it's definitely got this really cool retraction effect going on with it. And of course, again, these are perfectly fit for your hand and really nice fit, really comfortable, really great to smoke out of.
What color is this? I mean, I know it's in the green.
I don't know.
It's a really cool color.
Yeah, I mean, he just opened the case and I was like, yeah, that one for sure.
Yeah, these facets are amazing. It's so funny because, I mean, really every way you turn it, it looks like a completely different piece. The way the light hits it, I mean, it's amazing. So a piece like this that is a relatively small piece but really ornate retails for $250.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It is beautiful.
And that's really not a bad price for something of that caliber. I mean, I've seen stuff come from other artists like that, that can be, $300 and $400 and even up to $500.
We've talked about this before. I mean, one of the things, we're not talking about glass. I mean, I brought HQ magazine because we're going to go through that in a couple minutes. We're not talking about that. Yeah, we do. We're talking about, this is real, solid, beautiful artwork that also works.
Yeah, it's functional art.
It's functional art, and something like this is stunning. I've sat through a bajillion glass shows with you before I even had you guys do this show. So I've seen a lot of pieces. I'm in your store every single day. I never ever stop being amazed by how phenomenal this type of art is.
Oh yeah, it's incredible because technically they can make anything with it.
Yeah.
Because they're taking it from a solid, melting it into a liquid, and forming it, and then it's turning back into a solid.
But the difference is you have to make it work. This has got to function.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't,
not gonna want to buy it.
Someone's not going to buy it. And so it's got to have all of those pieces that make it function.
Yeah. And that's the truly amazing part of it.
Yeah.
Is the desire to have it function and work. I've got a couple pieces that we're going to show next from Marble Slinger, is the guy that did the Degenerate Art film that we showed last. When was that? Back in May. And when I was talking to him when he was here, because I got to spend a lot of time with him because I was the sponsor of the show, so I flew him out and got to hang out with him quite a bit. And it was really cool hanging out with him and talking about glass because hanging out with all these artists, especially Dosher and Silver Fox, and we always mention Nate Myers, a good friend of ours, the guys that are really passionate about what they do, and then to talk to Slinger about it and just see exactly what his passion is, and he was talking about how it's smoking of marijuana amongst friends to some people is almost like a sacred thing.
Sure.
You take time out of your day, it's something you do with friends, or it's something you do with new people you meet,
right.
And all of that. And he goes, and the piece they make is the vessel to make that happen.
Yeah.
And it's gone away from just a $10 pipe to just make it happen.
Right.
Because then it comes, people name their piece. It's a very personal item to them. And he's like, and to be able to make that for people, he's like, it's phenomenal.
Well, and what's interesting to me, I enjoyed meeting him. Thank you so much for introducing me. He's from Pennsylvania, right?
He's up in Philadelphia
yeah.
right now.
So he's in Philly, a non-medical state. So to come here and see, what he's talking about under wraps in Pennsylvania is here out in the open in Colorado.
Yeah.
And it felt to me like he was just in heaven watching all these people openly medicate with these beautiful pieces, and it's just it seemed like it was very freeing for him.
Oh yeah, I mean he had an amazing time. I mean, he even said, he's like, it's amazing seeing all this and where this can go, because I mean, we definitely did, a lot of things, within the medical marijuana, but also run around doing things just within the glass industry here.
Sure.
Because people don't realize how big the glass industry is here in Colorado.
Right. I'm going to bring HQ in just a minute, as soon as we take a break.
Yeah, but
we'll talk about what's wrong with the industry.
Oh, there's all
and how
kinds
to
of
fix
stuff
it.
wrong.
But let's look at some more pieces.
Yeah. Like I said, these are a couple more Silver Fox Faceted Sherlocks. This is a newer color he made. He's only put it in a few pieces, and I've so happened to buy all of them. It's this really cool, creamy whitish color, and he always combines it with this really nice, purplish red color that he did these horns and everything on. And then he really did a good job of matching up an orangish red dichro marble onto the side of it to really complete the piece and really make it whole. And then we've got this really cool, I like this green one a lot. This is actually one that one of my employees has called dibs on. So this one's probably not going to be available in the store.
Good to know. So don't get excited, folks.
Yeah. But like all the dark greens and the different shades of green that he was able to pull out of all of this and then match it up with the silver dichro marble on the side.
This might be my new favorite piece. This color is fantastic. And I'm
awesome.
And I'm a slime fan.
You are a slime fan?
Yeah, and so this
But there are many colors that are very attractive.
Oh, look at this. These are so great, and I love how the flat mouth part. I know I'm not saying that the way you should say it, but
The flat mouthpiece?
Yeah, the flat mouthpiece is just, it's very user-friendly and attractive at the same time.
Very comfortable to hit.
Oh my gosh, look at that marble. Could you see that well on the camera? That's amazing.
Yeah, you can.
That is like blindingly beautiful. Oh! That is amazing. And then my new favorite color,
I don't even know if that color has a name yet.
winter.
Winter?
Yeah. Chris says no, but it's exactly what it reminds me of. That creamy winter color. Chris says no way, but you don't go through the J. Crew catalog as often. It's a what?
Smoggy.
Winter in Detroit.
Here's the marble too.
Jersey.
Check out the marble on this one too.
We can call it Flim.
Yeah, there you go.
Which
Just
for a
got
lot of
less
us is kind of
attractive,
what.
huh?
Yeah. No, I still love it, and I love it with this isn't this like ready horn is just awesome.
Yeah, it goes really good and contrasts really nice against that color.
Yeah. Which we got?
And then now we've got the glass, or most of the glass I picked up from Marble Slinger, stuff that hasn't sold yet.
Sweet.
He does a lot of this sandblasting stuff, where he takes images and basically puts it across the glass and sandblasts it, and it gives it a different texture and a different feel. His approach is kind of, it's very similar to pop art. A lot of stuff he does kind of reminds me of old Andy Warhol stuff and all his images.
Old Tupac stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Oh yeah.
On this little spoon, we have his most popular and most famous image, which is the Morton Salt Girl under the umbrella carrying an AK-47.
Which, if you leave the Walnut Street store,
Yeah, those stickers are all over
the
the
stickers
place.
are all over.
Yeah, he kind of got carried away. He's like, oh, downtown area, I've got a stack of stickers.
I like it.
So yeah, you'll see this image around
Everywhere.
everywhere, but especially a lot of them around our Walnut locations.
It's awesome.
It's really cool with the sandblasted image and everything on there.
How do they do that? I don't understand that.
Like basically,
Love it.
like he has, it's almost like a kind of a sticker stencil kind of deal that he puts on there, to where the glass itself already looks like the image does in that
Okay.
color.
Yep.
And so when he puts the image on there and puts it in the sandblasting machine, where just blasts sand and gives it that rough, flat, matte texture, then that kind of brings out the color underneath, and then but leaves the image on top.
So this is the actual color.
Yeah.
And this was the actual color. And then, gotcha. That is so neat.
And of course, kind of right in the vein with Andy Warhol, we got one of his Benjamin Franklin images, taken right off the $100 bill. And this next one's one of my personal favorite images he does. It's a guy spraying graffiti and just says Slinger, his name on there. Kind of another one of his trademark images he's really well known for.
The Benjamin Franklin one is almost like tie-dye-ish, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
It's super cool.
Then I really like
That's
this
awesome.
black one. This is a new one he's been doing. I'm not sure exactly how he gets this effect, but like this is just, it's solid black, but he's sandblasted the images, and he's done this very deep sandblasting to where it's, you know, probably a couple millimeters raised up off the glass instead of just slightly raised like his typical sandblasted images are.
Wow. Thank you. Oh, these. Oh, wow. Whoa, whoa, whoa. You guys have got to go to these stores and see these. These are just,
Yeah, pictures and
Phenomenal.
cameras don't do them justice.
you know, it's just so fun to hold them. Oh, this is just stunning. This is a stunning piece. I don't know if the camera's going to be able to pick this up at all, but just that raised effect is so cool.
Yeah. Then, of course, this other Sherlock we've got here is
Barely.
George's favorite color slime, sandblasted, so it's got a much different look to it than we're used to seeing. Then he did that deep sandblasting around the front of it. It's probably going to be hard to actually catch the image, but it says Thug Life around the front. So that one definitely belongs to me, because I
Or me.
live the Thug Life.
Or me.
You got to get it tatted on you first.
Right, I don't have any tattoos.
It's a good first one to get.
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm not sure that Thug Life is the good first tattoo.
If you're going to go swimming, you got to get wet. Just dive in.
Chris, what? What, Chris? What?
What?
What, Chris? What?
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
Another thing I really like about this slime Sherlock is he left a lot of glass glossy on here, which he did this amber purple over white technique, where he just takes the amber purple color, puts it over white, so the purple in it really pops a lot more. And yeah, so it's like 2/3 sandblasted, 1/3 not. It's got fits really well in the hand. It's got a great look to it.
And it says Thug Life.
Exactly.
I don't know. Mine would say Mommy Life.
Mom life.
Princess Life. Just kidding. This is so neat. I mean, again, like the feel of the slime versus the feel of the amber. I mean, it's so nice
It's a
to hold in your hand.
multi-dimensional piece.
It is. It is. And it's so solid. All of these are so solid. You guys can't see it, but it really does say Thug Life right there.
And of course, I love this other Sherlock we got here too. That's got did a amber purple sandblasting section and mouthpiece, and I'm not sure what this other red color on the base of it is.
Winter. Oh, no, never mind.
It's not the same one. This is a total smartass piece because he sandblasted a picture of Sherlock Holmes on a Sherlock.
Who would have thought?
I know, Captain Obvious over here. This one's really good. It's got a really great fit and everything in the hand. Really well made, just like all his other pieces.
Oh, this is a girl's pipe right here. This is a girl. This is for a girl.
It's unisex.
No, no, no. You can tell this is for a girl. Look how feminine that looks. It's so pretty. It's a lot warmer colors because girls are warmer than boys. Boys are colder, girls are warmer. It's just the way the world works, right?
You and your genderizing of pipes.
You know, there's so many that to me just, they all have personalities. I mean, they really do. It's kind of like picking out a puppy. They are all different and they all have personalities, and this one is a girl's.
No, it's like choosing a wand. It chooses you.
Oh, someone who's read some Harry Potter.
I've never read Harry Potter.
I thought he was going to actually agree with me.
All of a sudden he thought about what to say and he was like, no.
Yeah, it's
So
like,
I don't know. Can we see the Sherlock on there? Were you able to get Mr. Holmes? These are beautiful. These are beautiful. And these are available at the Colfax store in Lakewood, Colorado.
Yes, ma'am. 6091 West Colfax Avenue.
1691 West Colfax Avenue, where such interesting things happen.
I have seen more shit go on around my store than I've seen in my whole life. It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. The Walnut store is not like that.
Not yet.
Not yet. We're going to take a little breaky break. Is that right, Mr. Producer?
Yep.
Before we do that, we'd really like to thank our friends at Nodo Urban Garden Supply, who is also a neighbor of ours.
Yep.
They are right around the corner, at the corner of 27th, in between Walnut and Larimer Street at 1330 27th Street. Nodo Urban Garden Supply has all of your garden supply needs, whether you are a hobby cultivationist or you own a huge commercial grow. Our friend Levi, who unfortunately wasn't able to be at our last show doing his grow tip, but will be on the 4th Monday of the month to be able to give his grow tip, can answer all of your grow questions and recommend supplies for you. One of the cool things about Nodo Urban Garden Supply is they provide compost tea for free for all their customers. They just ask that you bring a container, and they have fresh brewed compost tea to help with all of your plants, your house plants as well, and they're able to walk you through any and all grow questions that you might have. In addition, not only do they have a wonderful in-store inventory, but anything that you want to order, any kind of special things that they may not have in stock, they're happy to get for you, and typically they can get them to you within 24 to 48 hours. That's Nodo Urban Garden Supply, NODO urbangardensupply.com, located about 4.5 blocks northeast of Coors Field in downtown Denver at 1330 27th Street. So please go visit them. You're listening to The Cure on iCannabis Radio. We'll be right back.
Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver area, please join us for runs or start a group in your area. Running not your thing? Any sport can do it on grass. Runongrass.com. Are you a runner? Are you a runner who supports marijuana legalization? Run on Grass is a group of athletes actively seeking to change our marijuana laws. We speak the truth about cannabis, bringing the message through our feet to new ears. Check out runongrass.com to find out more about us, our events, and how to join up or how to sponsor a runner. If you're in the Denver
I'm Gary Johnson, and you're listening to iCannabis Radio, and I want to say, talk it up, Colorado.
Are you a medical marijuana patient or interested in finding out how to become one? Contact Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. Conveniently located on Hamden and Tamarack in the Whole Foods parking lot behind Proof of the Pudding. Mile High Wellness offers a wide variety of edibles, hashes, and some of Colorado's top strains. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern. 3525 South Tamarack, Suite 110, on the corner of Hamden and Tamarack. 720-382-8516. Mile High Wellness, where your care is our concern.
Thanks. We're back with The Cure on iCannabis Radio, and my name is Georgia, and we're here, of course, with Mad Hatter Smoke Shop, our friend Paul, and the Chris's. Paul has one more really cool piece to get us pumped for next month's oil rig segment.
Yep, we got a new oil rig from Marble Slinger as well. It's got a really cool tiger sandblasted on the front, an even cooler chick with a gun. I think it looks like Sharon Stone. Is that who it looks like to you, too?
Really? It doesn't look like Sharon Stone.
Yeah, it does. You'll see it in a second. It looks like Sharon Stone.
With or without panties?
It's like from like chest up,
Okay.
and her top is covered, so it's not the Basic Instinct image.
Just asking.
Dang it.
But yeah, this is oil rig dome style. It's got the really cool dark black sandblasting technique around the back and sides with a little bit of blue up the stem. And it's got a color similar to George's favorite color, slime, but this one's called Sublime.
Oh,
It's
that's tricky.
A little more transparent color. Definitely doesn't have all the weird stuff going on inside. But yeah, like I said, this one's a dome style, so it would go with the nail. And of course, this is a good one to be looking at to kind of launch into next month's show, where we'll bring in a bunch of different rigs and kind of show you the pros and cons of all the different ways to consume your concentrates.
Yeah, we in celebration of our new show, iDab Radio, we really want to walk people through the hows and the whys of, oh yeah, that's totally Sharon Stone.
So why'd you argue with me?
I don't know. I apologize, but that's her hair. I mean, this is Sharon Stone, Basic Instinct years.
Yeah. Yep.
But to really, really help people understand the hows and whys of vaporizing concentrates and what these rigs do to really to help you consume the concentrates. It's a different. I mean, the idea of a torch didn't exist 5 years ago. So these are great. So we're really excited. This says fearless vampire killers. Thought you weren't supposed to kill vampires.
What?
I thought
wouldn't-
I thought you were supposed to coexist with them peacefully.
No.
They eat you if you don't.
No, they don't. Zombies eat you.
No.
Yes, they do.
Well, yeah, they do, but so do vampires.
They eat you? I thought they just
suck your blood.
I thought they sucked a little
Well,
blood and moved on.
Depends
No,
on
they
the
suck your blood and
species of
turn you
vampire
into
as
a
well.
vampire
There's a
soon.
species of vampires?
There's several
Don't you eat
species
True
of
Blood?
Well, no.
Why not?
I'm a little afraid.
It's a great show.
It's
I'm-
much better than Twilight.
Well, of that I'm afraid for a whole different reason. So,
Back when I was a kid, vampires sucked blood. Not cock.
Exactly.
right? Well, thank you so much, and we're really excited for you guys to come back on the first Monday of August and do a full rig, all about concentrates, all about oil segment.
I will make sure Janonymous is here.
Okay, that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. And really like to thank our sponsors, Mile High Wellness, Nodo Urban Garden Supply, Edson Maton and Mats, Medical Marijuana of the Rockies, Medical Marijuana 101, and Ren on Grass, as always, for their wonderful sponsorship of not just The Cure, but iCannabis Radio. Don't forget all of our shows on iCannabis Radio. Tuesday nights, American Weed from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Remember, that's a new time. Then from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m., Sex Pot Radio. Wednesday night, don't miss iDab Radio from 6 to 8. And then Thursday is always Overgrow the Radio with Stickman and Elisa. And we'll be back next week on Monday. And as always, it will be a fun show because the second Monday of the month is Around the USA with our medical marijuana state experts and our legalization experts. So thank you so much for being here, Paul.
Thanks for having me.
And the Chris's. It's been a great time, and we will see you next week. Thanks for listening to The Cure on iCannabis Radio.